everyone, Di here from Di's Den, and welcome to another Wowzza Wednesday. This time I'm going to show you how to make this little box. It holds a lip gloss, so great for someone who's not feeling well and got chapped lips, or likes lots of balms for different reasons. So just a nice little gift for a little girl or a big girl, and it's just nice and easy. And I'm going to be using all retired products, so I will show you what we're going to use. We're going to use Dress to Impress. Unfortunately she's just finished, and we're going to do the lipstick here, and the As Bold As Your Lipstick, along with Kindness Is Always in Style, because you've got somewhere on the back to write. How beautiful is that? Turning it around the wrong way. How crazy am I today? So yeah, so we've got somewhere on the back to write our little thing saying get well or happy birthday. Just a little gift for somebody. I think it's gorgeous. So I've got those all out, and for my saying as bold as your lipstick, I'm using this die here out of the Christmas Rose set, which is also well and truly retired. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to colour my lipstick using Copic markers because my green, my Mossy Meadow green ones have gone all yucky and dried up. So, and I had these ones, so I'm going to use these ones to do the colouring with, and I will show you what you need. And it's really not that much. Okay, oh, so I'm also going to use a few gems that are from the Noble Peacock rhinestones, which are also retired, and I'm going to use these green ones here. So I'm also using my punch, which is the bow punch, which is also retired. So it's a full set of retired everything. Now I've already done one of my lipsticks, but I will show you how I did that. That's how I can tell that my other lipstick went, but I won't be cutting it out. But I'll know who, we know who will get that. So I've cut out my piece for my saying on the front, and I will stamp that in a moment. So let's pop those over there. You will also need a corner rounder, and as I've also made the bow up. We've made bows before together, so I thought when I did the one a couple of weeks back now with the little jars in it, I used the bow punch then, so we will know what to do for that. Okay, so what we need is just these few pieces here. So we're going to need a piece of card for the main box, which measures 10 inches by 6 inches. We're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 5/8 by 5/8 of an inch, and 2 pieces that measure 3 1/4 by 5/8 of an inch. Another piece that measures 3 1/4 by 2 1/8 of an inch, and this all is designer series paper that is actually retired quite a while back too. And a piece for your writing pad on the back, which measures 3 1/4 by 3 inches, and that's all we're going to need. Okay, so let's pop all those out of the way. Let's do our bit of stamping first, and then we'll make the box. So we need to make sure we've got this on the 3 1/4 inch side for the width. So we're going to stamp that in Mossy Meadow. If I can get the lid off. And I'm going to be stamping the one that says Kindness Is Always in Style. So that's the bit for the back. Oh, look at that. I went plopped over the edge there. Let me wipe my stamp off my jeans. Turn that over, and we'll do that one again, shall we? Without making a mess this time. There we go. Kindness Is Always in Style. So that's that piece done. Pop that out of the way so I don't drop anything on it. We will stamp out As Bold As Our Lipstick. As Bold As Your Lipstick. So it's Be As Bold As Your Lipstick. And I've done it closer to the top because of the bottom will hide behind the ribbon piece. And then we're going to stamp our other piece, our lipstick on this piece here using Memento. So, and I'll show you how I coloured this in, and I'll cut this out later for Mum. So I've got my 3 greens, or my 2 greens and a grey. So I'm going to use the light green, and I'm going to colour the lipstick. We're going to have green lipstick, so they're going to be one of these punk lipstick ones in this case. But I just thought it was something a little bit different, you know, to red lipsticks or whatever. You can have a green lipstick if you want. I personally wouldn't wear one, but there you go. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. So we did our green, and then with our other green, we're going to do just like little swipes along the edge there and along this edge here. What gives you the impression that it's rounded. We'll do the same on these bits here. Along the edge. Just bringing it in and out a little bit at a time, and then just go right down that edge so that you can't see the last bit. I find it easier to turn it the opposite way to do the other side. That's just me. I can work better one way than I can the other. And then along that edge just to cover it in. And then I have a, oops, that's the wrong one, a grey one, a silver grey colour. And I'm looking for the right end here. There we go, that end. Just to do the piece in the middle, so it looks a bit silvery. I don't have another grey one because I don't actually have a lot of these Copic markers. But I might have to get a few more, or get some replacements for my other ones. So that's our lipstick. This was the one I did with the Mossy Meadow, so it's a little bit darker, which was the colour we're going to be using today. But yeah, I just thought it was really nice and different. So, and this one I'll cut out and give to Mum. So we're going to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to do some scoring on our piece, and we're going to score this on the long side. Let me move this around so I can read it up. I can't read upside down. At using, again, making sure that we use the thin end, because we're using card, and we want to score this at 7/8 of an inch. 1 3/4 of an inch. 2 5/8 of an inch. Get in there. I feel like I'm wobbling today. I don't know why, but yep. 3 1/2 inches. And 6 3/4 inches. And we're going to turn it onto the short side, and we're going to score this at 3/8 of an inch. Oops. And 1 1/4 inches. 4 3/4 inches. And 5 5/8 of an inch. Or if you're not sure, you can turn it all the way around and score it again at 3/8 and 1 1/4. That's all the scoring we're going to do. And it looks a little bit daunting with all these score lines on here, but it's good. So we're going to bring in our large scissors only because it's easier to cut. And we're going to cut, starting with it on the long side. You've got all these little squares here, and then we've got 2 long ones here. We're going to cut those 2 long ones completely off. I'm going to turn it over that way and do that because I can't do it that way round. Now if you feel confident of doing that on your trimmer, you can do that, but I don't feel confident of being able to stop in the right spot. So we're going to do that on the other side as well. We're going to cut across to the second score line in, and then cut right down this one and cut that piece right off and out of the way. So we can pop those in the bin, we don't need them. So I'm going to change to my smaller scissors now, and we're going to cut up each of these lines here. On on both sides, all four sides, three score lines on both sides. So we've got 4 flaps. So we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to cut off the bottom flap completely. I didn't cut all that one all the way up, and we're going to, making sure you cut the score line away, which I didn't do very well on that one. And we're going to cut this one up here the same, cutting that score line away and right into that corner. And we're going to then notch this one in a tiny bit along the bottom. The next one, well, the middle one, we're going to pop out the way. So let's pop that one down out of the way and that one down out of the way on both sides. And then we're going to cut this one. There's the score line. We're going to cut it about that far down past the score line on both of those. And we're going to then just notch those in a tiny bit as well. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So about halfway down between the score line and the next score line, cut them off, notch them in. With our middle one, we're going to just notch these end ones just that tiny little bit. We need to make sure we keep that, remove that score line on that one too. So when, like me, I didn't cut it away. So that's all our cutting. Let me pop these in the bin. And you can see where all our score lines are. So we've got our score lines along here, and we've cut away all these pieces along here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring in our corner rounder, and we're going to, if you can, you don't have to do that, you can actually leave it, but I'm actually going to round the corners on my long ones because it just looks that little bit neater. That piece there didn't want to come right off. And we're going to do the same on the other side here. And I'm going to sneeze. I can feel a sneeze coming on. So excuse me if I do sneeze. Okay, so we've got our corners rounded like so. So now we're actually going to fold and burnish all of these score lines. And make sure they're nice and tightly scored down because of folding in as a box. As well as that little one there, making sure you've done that one. Let's move those bits of rubbish out of the way. And that's all our scoring done, all our folding done. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to glue this piece down onto here completely. The reason I've done this in the full length is because it actually gives it a lot more stability on the top, makes it a lot sturdier. So let's move that out of the way, we don't need that anymore. I'm going to bring that down. And bring that in like so. With these pieces here, what you need to do is you need to watch which is the top, which is this one here, which is, we've got our If we've turned it upside down now, we've got our piece that's got the two ends off. We're going to pop one of these, and we're going to make sure we've got it up the correct way if we've got a directional pattern. Like that's a directional pattern, so I would need it that way up. And I'm going to pop that onto that section there. Now it's easier to do this when this is still open box. I did my last one when it was a closed box, and it was just that little bit more difficult to do, to put that one on there. The others it's not quite so bad, so but I will do them at the same time. So that one's going to go underneath that there, like so. I think that's the correct way up. Yep, that was the correct way up. So we'll pop some glue on that bit there. And pop that one onto here. And then with our two little bits, we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to pop a bit of glue on these little ones, and we're going to pop these onto this flap here on the side. Like so. Now that they're on there, we're going to now bring this around and bring that in like so. So we're going to pop on this tab here, we're going to pop some glue. And we're going to pull this around and pop it underneath like so. And we can then turn it down like this and pop our bone folder inside and give it a good squish down. Make sure that it's down nice and tight. While I'm doing that, I can just see a little bit of that edge from the corner rounder there. It's just not come off, and I don't like it. It's annoying me. There we go, got that off. Then we can pop our little piece here, which goes this way up. Our other piece of designer series paper. And we can pop that onto there. We can fold in the ends of our box then, because we've given it time to dry. If you find that, like me, it's a little bit tight, you can always trim a bit more off of the corners. Like this one here needs a tiny bit more trimmed off this edge here, because it's just not allowing this one here, the bottom one, to clip in. And because I've done that, I've bent it a bit, so that's not very clever, was it? There we go, got him in there nicely. And then we can pop out. I've only got one, so I'll have to pop this one in here. Lip gloss into the box, pop the end in, get in there. Get in there! Oh, really, I can see where I haven't gone all the way to the edge there. So just making sure that you do go all the way to the edge there. Otherwise you will have that same problem of the end not going in. And we don't want that to happen, so there we go. Alright, so we've done our box. Now all it does is for us to finish it off. So we've got our saying to go on the back here like this. So we're going to pop that onto the back. Making sure, if you'd like me, you use the other side of the paper if you actually make a mistake and get a bit of a blue ink spot on there. There's no right or wrong side to the paper in this case, so you just want to make sure you get it on there nicely. And that's the back of our box done. And then we have our few bits for the front and our little gems. So I've got some dimensions to pop on here. And on the back of my lipstick. these the opposite way around this time. Oops. And our lipstick over this side, and then I've got a glue dot here for this. So I'm going to pop a glue dot on the back of the ribbon that we made, or you can make a bow with some proper ribbon if you wanted to, rather than the bow maker. Well, it's stuck to my finger, not to the thing. And I'm going to just pop him onto the top of the box here, push it down. So if you wanted to make a ribbon with ribbon, like a bow with ribbon, that's quite acceptable. It's not like you can't do it. And then I'm going to pop just one gem down here on that corner there. And that is our little Wednesday Wowzza project. Well, whoops, that wasn't very clever. What do you think? It's just a cute little thing that is just great for that person that's got chapped lips, or, you know, if you've got lots of little girlfriends, you know, like school kids that like to send, you know, presents to their other girls in the class for their birthday. They could make them one of these. It's just something little. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do it, so they don't have to, or even for Christmas, you could make them into Christmas ones. That would be really great. Nice little Christmas gifts for the school or your work buddies or whatever. And I think that's a great idea. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like the written tutorial for this, head down to Di's Den for stamping, crafting and tutorials, and that's my Facebook group. There you can pick up the tutorial for this. It's written in English using imperial and metric measurements. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I always do answer the comments. So I will see you again next time. Bye.